Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. And I hope you guys have had a good start to the weekend. I think I've forgotten to do something quite major, but I don't know what that is on tonight's live stream. When I was setting it up, I have this feeling that I haven't done something that I should have done. But I always have that feeling. Anyway, hello to you guys in the live chat room tonight. In there we have Gail, Mimi321, Billy, Susie, 123, Rockchild, Tammy, Bella, Paul, Charlie, Debbie, Gail, Vera, Howard, Billy, Cindy, Wiss you, Diamond Girl as well, Joe, Jennifer, Julie, 00, Govern 00, and Alison, Jay, Anna, and Paul's in there as well. And Mura says, I think said happy Easter, maybe. So yes, thank you and happy Easter to, I suppose, anybody in Australia who's watching this in the future, because I believe their clocks are in the future, or at least they are now facing the sun, whereas now I'm not facing the sun here in the UK, because it is 7 minutes past 11 in the evening. And for confirmation of that, I'm going to get the names of my patrons up on screen at the same time. And this is the point at which I say a massive thank you to you guys at the bottom of the screen for making this all possible in the first place. I always say that they are the foundation of everything that I do, and they very much are. So thank you guys, for all of your support. So we have a clock change coming up tonight here in the UK. So it means that we're now losing an hour. So this time on Tuesday, it's going to be 8 minutes past midnight, which means I would have started an hour earlier, I think. But as I always say, if you want to stay in time and in sync with the live streams, just type in time in London, England, and then you'll be able to see what the time is here, and then you can start to adjust your viewing for the time where you are. So I'm going to be losing an hour tomorrow, which I'm not particularly looking forward to, because I need more hours in the day, not less hours. But at least it means that, I was going to say, at least it means you get another hour of daylight in the evenings. But the problem that I'm finding now, because of the mornings getting lighter, is by the time I'm going to bed, it's now day again. So it's I'm going to have to try and rein in my schedule and bring it back an hour, so that I'm going to bed an hour earlier than I normally do, because the clocks are further forward. It's always a little bit tricky to work out what's happening, but I think this is the bad one, where you lose an hour rather than gaining an hour. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I can see already hitting the thumbs up. We are aiming for another record tonight on the Saturday night live stream. The record was 440. I've taken a bit of a gamble there, and indeed it was. So we are aiming for 445 tonight. And this is something that I've forgotten to do, have I? Is it one? Again, I'm going to take a gamble here that it's now 125, and I should actually look over here to try and find Joe's message. And it is 125. So that's maybe the thing that I forgot to do. But if you can hit that thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be very much appreciated. And let's get the likeometer up on screen as well to show that we are at 213 likes so far. So maybe we can get a bit of a spike of the likes going on. Every thumbs up is massively appreciated. And we have been hitting records with the likes on the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday. And it's been quite a few weeks that we've been doing it in a row. So thank you guys for returning to watch the live streams, but then also hitting that thumbs up every time. It really does help the channel to grow, and for the live streams to get out there a little bit more as well. So hopefully you can hear me and see me, and everything should be working. It looks like my levels are going through, and I can see myself moving on the screen, so that's generally a good sign. But let's see, or I was going to wait for it to go to 230 to say that we needed 215. So now we need 213 people to hit the thumbs up. So that's getting the maths out the way. I think that's correct. Maybe my brain gave me the right numbers there. I don't know. But we always like to get the maths out of the way, or the math out of the way, early doors on the live streams. Right. This is the point at which I say as well that you don't have to donate during the live streams or any time. Just watching the channel is fantastic. Maybe leaving a thumbs up if you are tuning in for the live streams. If you can introduce yourself as well, that's great, in the live chat room, so then we can all get to know each other and interact in this live setting. So, yes, introduce yourself. Any people who are maybe tuning in for the first time in a live stream and just wondering what's going on. Obviously, these are different to the analysis videos because we just get to chew the fat, I think is the expression, where you're just kind of chatting randomly. Some of the things that we cover in the live streams you won't see on the channel with the analysis videos because we don't analyze aliens and all that kind of stuff. We do talk about aliens sometimes, and fitness, other things that I'm interested in, or at least have a history in, with previous education and jobs and all that kind of stuff. But that was a very long time ago, over 20 years ago now. But for the most part, it's been music for my profession, and just my life since the age of probably 19 is where it all started. So that's over 20 years as well. So anyway, we talk about music, we talk about anything that does just happen to pop up as a subject during the live streams, but that's what makes it interesting. But we do keep it music based. If we hit the goal, we have a fill jam at the end of the live stream, which is me jamming along to a backing track that Joe sends me, and it's just a different one every time. And tonight is number 125, so whatever that is going to be what it is. So yes, Easter tomorrow as well, and I'm going to be eating one Easter egg, probably not all in the same one day. I'll probably spread it over a few days because I'm trying to be a little bit strict with my sugar intake. And what I've found is that if you do have things with like chocolate or any treats in your house that have a lot of sugar in, what I've done is I've just gradually eaten those treats. And I think in the last 3 or 4 days, I've had nothing. And it's not particularly good because I think, especially with a cup of tea or a coffee, you want something with it, like a biscuit or something. And I know that there's nothing available that is a treat like that. So you're just stuck. And I think it's good to not have the option of it. Otherwise, you would eat some kind of chocolate or high sugar treat. But I'm just kind of getting used to it. But this is the point that tomorrow I'm going to be having a bit of an Easter egg. I'll make it last, but I'll finally have a little bit of sugar, which will be very much appreciated by my body, I'm sure. But then I have to be careful not to get addicted to it. And this is something that I've found before. When I've started to bring my sugar level down with what I'm eating, and I'm just doing it for health or anything. I'm not diabetic or anything like that. But bringing down the sugar levels, I think you then get used to that level of sugar. And as soon as you have a little bit more, your body then wants to match that. But it not only wants to match it the next day, it wants to get a little bit more of this stuff. So then the next day, it then wants to get a little bit more. And before you know it, like with your tea and your coffee, you're having treats that, it starts to spiral out of control. So, I'm in quite a good place at the moment. So this is why I'll probably break off a tiny bit of the egg and it'll maybe last me a few years. Who knows? But yes, I will jump into the donations. As I was saying, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. But for those of you that can't resist donating, I think it's important that you know between 40 and 65% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. And you can find one of those in the description below. As well as underneath this video, you might see the merch and that tray underneath this video. You can click on items there if you want to just get some merch for yourself to use. to hold your favourite beverage whilst watching a live stream. But yeah, there are the hoodies and t-shirts and everything over there. There's also a link to the spring.com store in the description below as well, if you want to do it that way, if you don't have the tray underneath this video. Anyway, let me just quickly jump into that donation window on YouTube first. Orlando donated $2, so thank you for that, Orlando. The message was, the catch-up crew for me. Rock on, everyone. So thank you for that. And then Paul has donated $2, and Paul is Orlando's sidekick, which I haven't said for a while. But thank you for that, Paul. And there's a message with that says, please spike those likes, all y'all. So a very good idea. And David has just jumped in there with a bit of cake, and it maybe is a birthday cake. It looks like it's got a candle on it. So thank you for that, David. And it's a donation of $1.49. So yes, I'm losing track of time because I guess it's almost my birthday, but I think it's going to be my birthday before I know. I've just got to make sure that I don't miss it because, yeah, we are almost into April already. And it was interesting because today, see, this is the point that I'm totally losing where I am. But I was on the phone to my mum and I said, so Easter is on Sunday, so, are we doing anything, family-wise on Sunday? And then she said, you mean tomorrow? And I said, oh, yeah. I'm always thinking that, the next day is a few days away, so that I've got time to get organised. But it's always the case that I'm a few days further on, because when you're just doing stuff all the time, one day just bleeds into the next day, and before you know it, you don't really know where you are. You're just doing the same thing every day. So, yeah, there we go. I was thinking that I had a bit of time before Easter Sunday, and it's literally 42 minutes away. But at least I get to have an Easter egg, which will be good, or at least a little bit of one. So let's jump into the PayPal window as well, because there have been donations in there. Thank you guys for those. And there was one from Diane for £15.16. So thank you for that. And that was at 8:01 on Wednesday evening. And that was a straight up donation. And Nicole donated £15 as well. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message was, hello, Phil. You said you went to France once for a concert. Can you tell us about this trip to my country? Thank you, Phil. Have a good Easter weekend. Hugs and cheers. So thank you for that, Nicole. And it was to see Winger. It was a bit of a weird gig because it was on a boat. And it was just a boat that was harboured. And it wasn't a huge boat, but I guess it was big enough to have what I would call quite an intimate gig. You might have got, I don't know, between 50 and 100 people in there, something like that. So the bottom of the boat was bigger than the top of the boat. So yeah, it's a bit weird. You kind of went onto it, went down some stairs, and yeah, we didn't travel anywhere on the boat. But yeah, going to France is myself and Griff, who long-time viewers will know from previous live streams. So yeah, Griff and I went to France and we stayed in a hotel and we decided to walk to the gig, but then we realised that, yeah, it's a lot further in real life than it looked on the map. So, yeah, it took us a very long time to walk there. But it was just a trip, going to France and, watching Winger. So it's just a bit of a break, really, away from everything. And, this was ages ago. This would have been, I don't know, 15 years ago? Around that time, something like that. So, yeah, myself and Griff went off to see Winger in France, stayed in a hotel just for one night, and we got the Eurostar, or, through the tunnel underneath the channel. So, yeah, the problem with that was that we missed our train going the way back, which is a bit of a pain because it's a bit different, the Eurostar, than just getting a normal train, because there's not another one that leaves straight away. You have to wait then multiple hours for then the next one to leave. So I don't know why we missed it, other than probably because we were walking everywhere and the distances were too far, and yeah, we just didn't get there in time, obviously, because we missed the Eurostar. But interesting to go through the Channel Tunnel. I think that when I was at school, I went to France as well, which would have been the same thing. I don't know if it's called Eurostar anymore, the train that goes there. But yeah, we also went to France when I was at school, and I can't really remember anything about that trip, to be honest. I think it's blurring into other school trips that we had. I think one of them we went to Birmingham in England, and it definitely wasn't that. But I can't remember what we did in France. What I didn't like about school trips, and I don't know whether they do this anymore, but whenever we went on a school trip, whether it was to, we went once to the Royal Art Gallery, I think it was, something like that. And when you arrive there, the teacher then hands out a questionnaire that you've got to then fill out, or you've got to answer all of these questions on the different bits of art, and you've got to do it by the end of the day. So it means that you end up not actually going to appreciate any art, which is the whole point of art. You're going around reading all of the little things, trying to get the answer to the question, and you're not even looking at the picture, or the painting, I should say. Yeah, so for me, and I remember that about France, is that we're trying to find the answers to all of these different questions, and you're not actually taking in the fact that you're in France. So now, a lot later in my life, trying to think back to, what did we do on that? Other than answer this questionnaire, I can't remember. I wouldn't even be able to tell you, other than Paris, where we went or what we went to look at. Because whatever we were going to look at was a means to the end of filling out this questionnaire. So that's what you're concentrating on. So yeah, I think that's totally stupid. If I was doing a school trip, I'd say, right, we're going to see this thing, and we're just going to look at it and talk about it. And, you can just take it in for what it is. And if you have to test the students on it, then do the questionnaire thing afterwards to see if they've remembered anything. But I think you're much more likely to remember stuff when it's not like a test. And the problem is that I'm rubbish. I say I'm rubbish. I haven't had a test in years, probably about 20 years. But I'm not good at doing tests. And whenever I was at school and university, remembering data, I mean, that's all a test is data retention. If you can remember, if you've got a great short-term memory, then you'll be great at doing tests. If you haven't, then you're not going to be very good at doing tests. And the other thing about, writing at school, college and university, is that the speed of your writing, if you've got, say for example, you've got 200 great facts that that you've managed to remember, and you've got like an hour to write them all down, somebody who's faster at writing will be able to get down more facts and therefore get a higher score or a better grade than you. And that's just physical ability of writing. It's nothing to do with how much you can remember, but then when you can't remember a lot of things, it doesn't really help. So yeah, I was never very good at tests, and sadly, tests are exams, and that's what you get graded on. So yeah, it's just something that I knew that when I then sat down for a test, I was panicking about not being able to write fast enough. But then also, once you start panicking about that, then you're panicking about trying to remember the things that you know, but now you can't remember, and you think, why can't I remember it now? It's because you're under pressure to try and remember it. Whereas outside, you can rattle it all off without a problem. So yeah, not a big fan of exams. I rather just have people tested on the thing that they are supposed to be doing. I'm much more of a practical person. Like, if you've got a skill to be able to do something, do the thing. Don't answer questions about it, do it. And then if you can do it, then that is the point of having learned everything that you've learned, so you can apply that knowledge rather than just relay it onto a bit of paper and then forget about it. How many people learn a language at school? I did Latin, Spanish and French. And how much of that can I remember now? Very little. Why is that? Because you remember it for a test and then you forget about it. So yeah, it doesn't really stick in your long-term memory, sadly. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Nicole. And we've had another donation, and this has come through from Donald for £4. So thank you for that, Don. And that came through at 13 minutes past 11 this morning on Saturday. So thank you for that. Tammy's donated £25 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. And the message is, hi Phil, what is one thing you've always wanted to do but haven't done yet? Happy Easter. So thank you for that. And I mean, I've always said that I set the bar quite low. I know that people have these wild dreams of things that they want to do. And for me, because I'm quite a realist in life, I think that, you know, everything, especially in my life, is a bonus. When you see things going on around the world, I tend to think that, yeah, I don't want for much. I think, well, yeah, I think I'm very lucky in the life that I have, and the fact that I can do what I do and have enough food and water and a roof over my head. I think, yeah, that's a very good position to be in. So then thinking of, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, and, you know, I want to go to this place and that place. Yeah, I don't really have, you know, burning desires to do lots of things. I would like to go to Florida again before I die at some point, which is, you know, Disney World and doing all of that kind of stuff, because I haven't been there since a kid, and it was, a very fun time that I had there. I haven't been there in, a very long time. So, yeah, that would be good. But in terms of going to other places, I'm not really too much of a traveller in the sense of some people sometimes take a year out, or they take 2 years out and they go travelling and they go to lots of different countries and want to tick them all off the list. And yeah, I'm not really into that. And even people who are into exploring, this is another thing that I've never really got into. I know that some people see like the peak of a mountain and they think, wow, I really want to go up to that point at the peak of the mountain. But for me, I think, well, I've got no desire to do that because it's just there. I can see it from here. So I don't need to go and see it up there. But yeah, some people like rock climbing and all that kind of stuff. Some people are really into conquering mountains and things. Whereas I haven't got any desires or beef. I haven't got beef with a mountain thinking I've got to explore that and get to the top because then I win and I've beaten it. And I think it's kind of maybe more proving something to yourself that you can do it. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with what I can do and what I have done. So yeah, it's just a different mindset. I think you've either got that or you haven't. And one thing that I will say is, for people with that mindset of having to go and conquer and achieve things that are very difficult for humans to achieve, you know, the human race wouldn't actually advance if there weren't people like that. So yeah, I have a lot of respect for them, like people going into space and all that kind of stuff. You know, it needs somebody to push that boundary in order for the human race to evolve. So yes, I have a lot of respect for that, but I don't know. I don't know whether I'd say, should we just stop evolving, but then everyone agree that we'll just get on with each other and look after the planet that we're on and just see how long we can last, rather than having to go to look for other planets because we're ruining this one, so we might need to try and move somewhere else. Let's just rewind and let the planet, recover from what we've done, and make some serious changes that way. So maybe that's a devolve rather than a evolve that I would prefer. But at least everybody would be, I don't know how you tell people to stop having wars and all that kind of stuff, but that's the goal, is to say to everyone, look, stop having wars, let's all look after each other, look after the planet as well, and we'll just see what we can make of it, because it could be quite good if we concentrated on it. So but in terms of evolving, pushing, hitting new boundaries and all that kind of stuff, raising the bar, I'm just quite happy where I am. And I think technology is great where it is. The only problem is that technology needs things to fuel it. So this is, if anything, a never-ending circle of we need the energy, we need to, burn fossil fuels to get the energy for the technology to advance, to evolve, but then eventually that ends in the planet not working. So yeah, there has to be some kind of trade-off between the two, I think. But anyway, not that that's anything to do with climbing a mountain, because you don't need too much technology unless you need to get saved. Then you need fuel in a helicopter maybe to try and come and rescue you. Oh, anyway, thank you for that, Tammy. So yeah, the answer to that is not too much that I kind of really want to do, but I would like to go to Florida again at some point. So thank you, Vera, as well, who has donated £11.38. So the message with this is, hi Phil, I am wishing you a happy Easter. If you hear noises in your garden, it is just me dressed in my bunny rabbit costume, leaving you a basket of chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts. Laugh out loud. On a more serious note, I am feeling better and beginning to find my way. Thanks for all you do. Also, a big thank you to this wonderful group of people who have kept my spirits up. Love you all. So thank you for that, Vera, and for potentially leaving me a basket of chocolate-covered Brussels sprouts. And for those people that don't know, I'm not a fan of those, and I think just once at Christmas is enough for me. I don't think chocolate would make that much of a difference unless, like with Maltesers or something, not that this is how I eat them, but some people eat the chocolate off like a Malteser or a Kit Kat that has wafers in it. You can eat the chocolate off that. And obviously with a Malteser and a Kit Kat, you can then eat the wafer or whatever a Malteser is. But with a Brussels sprout, maybe I could just eat the chocolate and leave the Brussels sprout. It's such a childish thing to be doing. But yeah, I don't think it'll be a very nice mix anyway. But thank you for that, Vera. And Debbie has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Debbie. And the message is, hi Phil, I just wanted to wish you and your family a happy Easter. Thank you for everything you do. It's much appreciated. You are amazing. Love you, Debbie. So thank you for that. And Vera as well. And all you guys in the live chat room for saying, happy Easter. I hope you guys have a great Easter as well. I think I'm going to get there before most people watching this. I know that we do have a lot of viewers from, the USA. So, have a great Easter over there. And, try not to eat too much chocolate. But I guess if this is the only day of the year that you have chocolate, then it's probably fine. So, everything in moderation. That's what I say. Thank you, thank you, Debbie, for that. Gabrielle has donated £22.29. So thank you for that, Gabrielle. And Karen has donated £2.66. So thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, loved your recent analysis videos. Not easy limiting one's chocolate intake when someone special is having a birthday soon and shouldn't be deprived. Cookie cake, perhaps. Thanks for all you do. Happy Easter, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And as for this, I'm not sure. I mean, a cookie cake, I know, lasts for a very long time. And I think you can freeze it. So it's just whether, if I had a cookie cake, maybe having a tiny, tiny, tiny slither every day, I might be able to get away with. And then it'll probably last me till my next birthday or even longer. So, we will see. But I suppose, having a cookie cake once a year is also not too bad. But this is the problem, that we've got Easter and then my birthday quite close together. So it means I'm going to be having an Easter egg and potentially a cookie cake. So, I'm just going to have to be very strict with the amount I eat and just, make it last for a long time. So thank you for that, Karen. Thank you for all of the donations in the PayPal window, but also the Super Chat window. Like I say, you don't have to donate, but they are massively appreciated and do make a huge difference. So just looking over into the live chat room, we can see that, Diamond Girl says, eat the cake. I don't know if you're talking to me or somebody else, but maybe David's cake has Yeah, and that looks like a little bit more like a sponge cake rather than a cookie cake, because they're very different things. The cookie cake is very sweet indeed. Maybe I'll have to have a look into how much sugar is in a cookie cake, because it does taste like a lot when eating, because it's not only just a cookie and the chocolate that's in the cookie, but it's got the icing sugar stuff on it, so like icing basically. So yeah, that runs around the outside, so it's very nice indeed, and I'm starting to feel hungry just thinking about it. But anyway, Stardust Unicorn has popped into that super chat window with a donation of $1.49. So thank you for that, Stardust Unicorn. Support bands of Wings of Pegasus, as I always say. So let's have a quick check on the likeometer for tonight. We are at 363. We are aiming for a new record tonight. So if you could hit that thumbs up in that live chat room, that would be massively appreciated to hit the 445 target that we've set for tonight. If we do hit that target, it will be a new record for a Saturday night live stream, and we'll be having a Phil Jam, and it is Phil Jam number 125. The other thing to mention is that we do have in the live chat room tonight's cover video vote. It's between Parisienne Walkways and it's a Bon Jovi song, You Give Love a Bad Name. So there we have it. I can only ever see the one that's in the lead. I can see Parisienne Walkways has 54% of the vote, and then I have to try and remember, out of all of the cover videos, the other one that was requested over on Patreon. And thank you guys, by the way, for requesting those two. So You Give Love a Bad Name and Parisienne Walkways. You can have your vote in the live chat room. It looks like Parisienne Walkways has 54% of the vote, so it's quite close at the moment. Yes, have a vote on that. Right, now, as for what I was going to say, getting into the live stream, we're quite a lot into the live stream already, but there is going to be a troll corner, and I'm thinking whether we'll just jump straight into the troll corner now, because there have been, I think, maybe 3 that I've tried to make a note of, and I'll read them out very quickly, or maybe not, because I know that I've got to explain maybe a couple of things because people don't really understand how YouTube works. But let's jump into Troll Corner, and I'll see you guys in a second. So the first point, or the first topic in Troll Corner, is about a video that I made on the Romanian version of The Voice. And in that particular audition that we were looking at, I was pointing out the use of pitch correction, and this is something that I've done for the X Factor in the UK, where I pointed out auto-tune. I didn't do it for the X Factor, but the video was on an audition for the X Factor. Obviously, they don't want me pointing out that auto-tune's being used on people's auditions, but the same kind of thing for the Romanian version of The Voice, and that's called The Voice, so it seems even more ridiculous to be tuning somebody's voice. So, that particular audition was somebody singing a Michael Jackson song, and it was, a great performance. Obviously, it was pitch corrected, but he did have a similar kind of voice to Michael Jackson, and somebody commented asking me if I was jealous, because if it had been an English person rather than Romanian, I wouldn't have, I can't remember what they said, but it's something like I wouldn't have, either slagged off or something, the auditionee, or it was Bogdan Iowan, his name was, I believe, and they were saying that I was having a go at him because he was Romanian, and that if it was an English person who sounded like Michael Jackson, I wouldn't have done the same thing. So I replied saying that I'm not analysing the person. This is the voice. It's the show that I'm talking about. The show, pitch correct, some auditionees' voices. And this is just an example of that. So it wasn't a witch hunt of that particular person who's just turned up to audition for a TV show. I'm pointing out that the TV show are using it, and he didn't have it on his voice to begin with. It's something that's been applied, and then when we see the TV show, we can hear it. That, you know, it wouldn't have been done at the time because you can't apply pitch correction to a live vocal. So the people sitting there heard the actual performance. The reason that I'm kind of laughing and stopping myself is because I have a video coming out tomorrow night, and I know what it's about, and you're gonna have to just watch my video tomorrow night. I'm releasing it at 8 p.m. at Greenwich Mean Time, because when I say about you can't use pitch correction live, yeah, there's tomorrow. All I'm going to say is tomorrow night's video, however deep you thought the rabbit hole was, it's just become ridiculously deeper, and yeah, I can't see the end of it now. So yeah, there's going to be a video tomorrow night. Look out for that one, because yeah, it really does blur the line of everything ever musically. So anyway, getting back to Troll Corner. So yeah, I just explained to him that I'm not having a go at this particular auditionee, and it's nothing about jealousy or anything. I'm talking about the show in general. So the other thing that we had was the somebody said about the sound of one of my videos. They said, can't you clean up the sound? But they were talking about the video that we were watching that wasn't my video. Like, I don't make the videos. If there's a video of a performance, we watch the performance, and the sound on the video is just the sound on the video. So I don't have any control over that. I do try to get the sound, as clearly as possible, to be heard. Sometimes on very old recordings, it needs a bit of a boost, the top end EQ wise, because it can start to sound a little bit muffled on very old performances because of the tape, So I do try to, brighten it up a little bit sometimes, but yeah, for most videos, I don't have an option that, if there is lots of talking on it, or, the vocal isn't particularly clear in a performance, that I can't do anything about that. And I just explain that to them. Now, something else, the final one. And I left this on my phone to see. Okay, so this was a comment that I had from somebody who said, I have never, in capital letters, made any attempt to monetize this in any way, as it is the property of TJW's estate. So this was Tony Joe White that I was analysing a performance. And I think this person was the owner of the channel from where I watched the video to do the analysis. So with that in mind, he said, I've never made any attempt to monetize this in any way, as it is the property of TJW's estate and the BBC, yet you trample over his legacy with your own personal, for your own personal gain. What do you have to say for yourself? And that was the end of that comment. So, first of all, I know that where I watched the original video, it has been removed from that channel. So I think this is the person who uploaded the video, first of all, and then I watched it on their channel and did an analysis video of it, and it's now been removed by Tony Joe White's estate from his YouTube channel. So he doesn't have that video anymore. And I replied, and I couldn't find this comment when I was looking for it earlier to see if he actually understood what I was saying. Because I said, whenever you show anything or feature anything that you don't own the copyrights of, like my analysis videos, for example, looking at somebody else's song, I don't get ad revenue for that. That is copyright claimed, which means the money goes to the copyright owners. So in this very case, I told him that Tony Joe White's estate is getting all of the ad revenue, and they are the ones who have placed adverts on my video. So they can put as many adverts as they want on there. I don't have any control over it, but they are the reason that this person is seeing adverts on my video, is because it's Tony Joe White's estate who is placing the adverts on the video. So yeah, I said, don't worry if you think it's a revenue thing. I don't get anything from it, and then that's just the deal with featuring somebody else's copyright material. You can't get paid ad revenue for that, not unless you dispute it, and that's something that I'm not going to do on a video looking at somebody analysing. I'm an independent artist myself, so I think artists should get paid for their songs that they have written. So that's what I was trying to explain to him. And what I didn't say, but what I will say, is uploading somebody's song, even if you're saying I've never done it for any monetary gain for myself and I've never monetized it and all that kind of stuff, uploading somebody else's song and not transforming that, i.e. doing an analysis of it and pointing out things about it that people can now learn from and see that performance in a different light. So you have transformed it. Just uploading the song and then saying, I don't want to make any money from this, I don't own it, here's a performance, that's still illegal. Unfortunately, that's still a breach of copyright because you don't own it, but you're uploading it to a channel that you haven't actually got the person's permission to put just their song and without transforming it, just having it from the beginning to the end, and then that's the end of your video. I mean, the way to think about it is, and this is the reason that it's been removed, and I think maybe it was a case that they were frustrated that the estate has removed it from their channel, but how am I allowed to have it on my channel? The reason is because they have chosen to keep it there to make the ad revenue from it. So that's why there are a lot of videos that I have featured that have since been removed from where it originally was because the initial use of it was illegal. But it just so happens that that was the video that I was looking at that was requested. So it's been removed from there, but my video still exists because the people who have removed it from that channel are now getting ad revenue from this channel, obviously there can be potentially thousands of views, so thousands of views of their adverts or the adverts they're placing in different parts of the video, so it makes sense for them to get paid for me doing an analysis of it. So that's the way that it works. And it might just be a frustration thing that they don't understand and they don't know why it's still on my site, my page. But what I was going to say is a good way of gauging it is if it's a 3 or 4 minute video performance, or even if it's just a 3 or 4 minute song, and you upload it to your channel, how long is your video? If your video is as long as the song is, then that's a breach of copyright because you've got 4 minutes worth of sound and instrumentation and a song that you haven't written. And that is your video. That's something that you've uploaded. So if it's just a 3 or 4 minute video, then that's a good sign. And even if you've uploaded a 3 or 4 minute video and your video is 5 or 6 minutes, that's quite a good sign that, you're probably not pointing out a lot about it. So that's why, my analysis videos are 15 and 20 minutes sometimes on a 2 or 3 minute video. Because there's a hell of a lot of extra stuff that goes into it that is transforming what we're looking at, explaining things about it. So that's something that I had to explain to this person. And it's just a shame that I think if I can't access their comment, maybe they didn't realize how it all works and now remove their comment. That's something that sometimes does happen. But just for future reference for people watching the channel, if you're trying to make money on YouTube, doing analysis videos is not the way to do it. I mean, doing analysis videos on songs that nobody knows, maybe you could do it there, but it would have to be songs that nobody knows that you have either written yourself or have got an agreement with if they have actually registered it and copyright claimed it. But as you guys know, everything that we look at on the channel is from other artists and other songwriters and record labels that own it, publishing companies. So if we're doing a song from another artist, which is pretty much every analysis video, that will get copyright claimed. So the adverts. And this is something that, yeah, unfortunately, sometimes the copyright owners put loads of adverts on the videos, and I can't tell them to not do that because it's now their choice. As soon as I've featured anybody's song, they can choose just how aggressive they want to be with the ads on that particular video. So yeah, there you go. That's just the way of it. But, you know, like I said, I'm going to keep on doing the analysis videos. It's not something that, you know, I'm trying to make loads of money from, and, you know, disputing everything. By the way, every dispute on YouTube, and this is the way of it, and why it's not the most efficient system, is that if you were to dispute something, say for example, somebody claimed on my video something where I was giving a vocal example, and they said, oh, that's the melody from my song. And I can say, yeah, but I'm using, it's literally the most applicable case of fair use in the world, because I'm using the melody to explain, as an example, you know, to explain what I'm talking about to do with that melody. And they'll say, well, we're claiming that, you know, the whole video, you know, 20 minutes, the whole video now, we're claiming that because you sang our melody for 2 seconds. So in those cases, you can say, right, I dispute it. That dispute can then take 30 days. And if they try and argue against that dispute, which they can do, because you know, you can't prove your case in front of nobody. That's not the way it works. So they can give you a copyright strike. So that means 2 more strikes and you're off YouTube. Your channel is deleted. So that's the problem, that if you dispute one, you now have to wait 30 days. If you dispute another one, you've now got to wait another 30 days. And imagine if both of those decided to give you a copyright strike. One more, and there's no more Wings of Pegasus YouTube channel. So it's just not worth getting into anything or disputing anything. Let them copyright claim it, take the ad revenue, and I'll just kind of doing what I do. And that's when I say the foundation of the channel is at the bottom of the screen here, my patrons. So again, massive thank you to you guys, because they make everything possible, because yeah, YouTube is something that, yeah, by no means can you rely on for anything, you know, copyrights wise, and getting claims and all that kind of stuff. It's just better not to get involved with it or dispute anything, because yeah, if you lose, it's potentially the end of the YouTube channel. So yeah, and I know that some people, and maybe some record companies, are like that. They will give out a strike without even watching the video, and this is where I had a strike before, and they hadn't even watched my video. They just assumed that somebody's uploaded their song and it's just the song. Whereas it was like a 20-minute analysis video on the song, and they still gave me a copyright strike. But then they watched the video and removed the strike. So they then realized, oh, it isn't just somebody uploading it. We should actually watch it. And this is the thing, that they don't even have to watch the video. They can give you a copyright strike when it's the most blatant example of fair use. And this is the thing. I think all of my videos, if they ever went to court, the jury and the judge would say this is clearly fair use, or exemption by fair use. I think that in the UK it's called exemption, or fair use exemption. It's got that word in there, but it's the same law, which means that if you're pointing anything about it, if you're transforming it in any way, technically, for the vocal analysis videos, just showing the voice as a yellow line on screen has transformed the voice now into a visual entity. So I wouldn't even have to say anything. That would be considered fair use. So yeah, the fact that I'm explaining stuff, like I said, it is the most obvious example of fair use that you can get. So if I were disputing everything, I would probably win if it went to court. But yeah, I'm not going to risk that just in case 3 people, publishing companies, decide to give a copyright strike. Anyway, let's jump into tonight's cover video. It is 5 to midnight here, and I mean, that's probably me just rambling on, but it is Troll Corner. Let's get out of Troll Corner first, and I'll see you guys in 6 seconds. So, a long Troll Corner for tonight. Let's, get this cover video. It looks like it might be Parisienne Walkways, which I think has been requested quite a lot recently, and we've always missed it. So it is Parisienne Walkways tonight that is going to be winning out with 53% of the vote. So obviously my version of it. I hope you guys enjoy this. And I tell you what, while this is playing, I will see how long the backing track is if we hit tonight's likes goal. We're looking for 14 more people in the live chat room to hit the thumbs up in order to have a Phil Jam tonight. And that's just reminded me of another kind of troll thing. Somebody said something like, why don't you record your... And this is, you know, I've had this a few times. People say, why don't you record your own music rather than looking at everybody else's? And they don't know that I have recorded my own music. And I replied to him, giving him, you know, my website and, you know, saying that it's on iTunes and Amazon. You can download my songs if you want to. What I didn't say, and what I keep forgetting, is that technically I'm playing live on every live stream where we hit the goal, because we have a Phil Jam, which is me playing guitar live. And I think the guy was asking me if I've got any videos of me playing guitar live, and it just doesn't register that I'm doing it on every live stream. So yeah, I should have told him that just to tune in. But we have to hit the target in order to have the Phil Jam, and we're looking for one more person. And one more person. There we go. We have hit the target for tonight, so we will be having a Phil Jam. And I'll look at how long it is. This is Parisienne Walkways. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock!
I remember Paris, 49, the Champs-Élysées, Saint-Michel and old Beaujolais wine. And I recall that you were mine on those Parisian days.
And there we have it. That was my version of Parisienne Walkways. Of course, Gary Moore, one of my favourite guitarists when I was learning to play the guitar, getting into the whole blues thing, but following on from Jimi Hendrix, but then I got into the whole hard rock thing, so I didn't spend a lot of time on the blues, but nevertheless, yeah, what a great tune that is. Hope you guys enjoyed my version of it. We are going to be jumping into the Fill Jam for tonight, and 7 minutes 19 is how long this Fill Jam's going to be going on for. And mic turned on, guitar on. Right, this... Okay, oh, there's been a donation in the PayPal window. Let me just quickly address that. And it is Elizabeth, who has donated £10. So thank you for that. And the message is, how do you decide which original to play and which covers to put in the poll? I bet you thought I was going to ask you something Scottish related, didn't you? So thank you for that. And I just look down the comments section of the post that I do over on Patreon before the live stream and just pick out either, you know, one or two covers or originals and try and see if anybody else has asked for the same ones, or sometimes I pick them out randomly. So yeah, I just jump down the comment section of that post, and yeah, thank you guys for giving me those suggestions, and thank you for that donation, Elizabeth. We are going to be jumping into this, and as always, the levels are always...
My name is John.
Oh, hello, John. Right, so that's an advert. Let me mute that. And skip that. Okay, here we go. Right, have I set everything? Oh, zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, mic, zoom out. I think we're ready to go. This is Blues Backing Track Jam. Ice B /, Swing Blues in G. And I always have to hover over the channel because it's too... the amount of space I've got on the screen for the Fill Jams is really small, so I can never see the title of the YouTube channel. But this is MCCD for Donald, and that's in capital letters, and then Sessions. So MCCD Sessions. So let's have a listen to this, see what it's all about. And where does that come from? I've seen that, I've heard that on TV somewhere, where they, instead of saying about, they say about. But let's have a listen to this, and okay, that seems to be working. Let me know what the levels are like. Going clean. Just waiting to see if you can hear this. Oh, Joe says levels good. Barbara says sounds good, so I might just keep on going with this. Let's go a little bit of this. Oh. Whether we can go a little bit dirty with this, maybe, see if it works. Earlier. Heard a little bit of that. Oh. These little fills. Yeah. So the thing is, I'm listening to the little bits of guitar going on. I shouldn't be doing that. Actually, let's go back to this. Can't hear it. Okay, I couldn't. It sounded like it was ending, but maybe it got quieter at the end. It sounded like there was an ending, so I did an ending, and I don't know whether it went with the ending that was going on there, but yeah, but an interesting one there. And yeah, the problem with that was I was starting to hear, again, yeah, the track's a little bit low in the background, but this kind of you know, kind of hearing all that kind of stuff in there, which was cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm kind of starting to listen to the backing track rather than play over the top of the backing track. But it is what it is. Thank you for that, Joe. Oh, I can see Joe says nailed the end. So thank you. Yeah. Good to know. I might have to watch it back to see what it, what it sounds like. But unknowingly nailed the ending. So yes, there we go. That was the Phil Jam number 125 for tonight. So yeah, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up, ensuring that we have the Phil Jam. And yeah, for getting a new record tonight with that likeometer of 492 we ended at, but we're aiming for 445. So yeah, thanks for hitting the thumbs up. And if you're watching this in the future on catch up, you can keep on hitting that thumbs up. Really does help this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. So yeah, thank you for tuning in to these live streams. By the way, if you're a Facebook user and you want to join in with the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, then you can do. So that's somewhere that you can go to join in with the lovely people in the live chat room tonight. So yes, that's the end of tonight's live stream, and thank you guys for joining me. Have a fantastic Easter. Just before we finish, I can see that Brianna has donated $5, so thank you for that. And the message is, nice jam, Phil. Hello to all the wingers, including you, Stan. So thank you for that, Brianna. And there's been another donation over in the PayPal window, and this has come from Robert, who has donated £15. Thank you for that, Robert. And the message is, your Joe Stafford video was my introduction. I've shared it non-stop. Thank you so much for your channel. Keep up the amazing work. So thank you for that, Robert. And yes, happy Easter, everybody. I hope that you have a fantastic Easter Sunday, and that you eat some Easter eggs, but not too many Easter eggs. Maybe try to make them last. That's what I'm going to be trying to do with my... Turn down the volume of my guitar, hitting the strings. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be attempting to do with my egg. Just get it to last as long as possible. I'm going to be here again with another video tomorrow night, of course. Look out for that one, 8 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. It is going to be, I think, a bit of a different one in an eye-opening sense, maybe. So yeah, important video coming out tomorrow night, and we're going to be live streaming on Tuesday night again. So that's going to be 11 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and by then the clocks would have gone forward. So make sure that you're checking your times. I'll keep it in the title of the live stream just to check that everyone checks their clocks before we do go live. So yeah, it'll be different on Tuesday, so just make sure to research into that. But it's still going to be 11 p.m. here, Greenwich Mean Time, so type that into Google and you'll be able to get the difference between where you are and where I am. So all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!